Welcome to a farmstead journey. In my previous video, we learned a very surprising lesson about the economics of store-bought chicken eggs versus backyard chicken eggs. That video is linked at the end if you want to check it out too. In fact, if you want to learn more about raising chickens in general, I have lots more videos on my channel for you to explore. I hope you will check those out also. Today, we'll crack open the deeper mysteries of chicken eggs and dive into the heated debate that's been going on for years. And that is, are there really any differences between backyard chicken eggs and store-bought ones? For instance, is there a difference in size? Are there differences in appearance? Does one taste better than the other? And the most asked question of all, is there a difference in nutrition between backyard chicken eggs and store-bought eggs? So stick around to see the winner. You just might learn something new. We'll start with the basics. Store-bought eggs, you know them. They're the ones you grab in a hurry from the grocery store, neatly packed in those cardboard or styrofoam cartons. But what about backyard chicken eggs? Those are the ones you get fresh from your own flock or maybe from a neighbor who's got a few hens but too many eggs for their family to eat, or even from a local farmer's market. Now, first things first, let's consider appearance and size. Store-bought eggs usually come in standard sizes. When you open up that carton, you see either small, medium, large, extra large, and some are even labeled jumbo. They're washed, cleaned, and often look basically identical. Have you ever found yourself wondering, how is it that every egg in each carton all seem to look identical in size and shape? Well, so have I, but we'll have to get into that topic later. I can tell you right now, though, that backyard eggs are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. They come in all sorts of sizes and colors, from small to jumbo, from brown to green, blue, and even speckled, and often in the same carton. And let me tell you, while those shell colors don't affect the taste, they sure do bring a smile to your face and make your breakfast plate look fancy. Now, here's something that I learned from personal experience. Backyard eggs often have a thicker shell. I remember the first time I tried cracking one, I felt like I needed a hammer. The shell thickness actually comes from the hen's diet and overall health, which is usually a bit better in backyard settings since the chickens often get more varied food and sunlight. Now, on to the part that I'm sure everyone wants to know about. Taste. Are eggs from backyard chickens really tastier? A lot of people swear by them, saying they're richer and creamier. And, well, in my honest opinion, they're right. Backyard chicken eggs often have a more vibrant yolk color. Think rich orange compared to the pale yellow you might see in store-bought eggs. This is usually because backyard hens have access to a more diverse diet, including bugs, grass, and kitchen scraps in addition to their feed, which all contribute to that richer flavor. In fact, I've eaten some store-bought eggs that were nearly tasteless, as well as some that actually left an aftertaste. Looking back on it, I believe the aftertaste was always there, but I had never noticed until after I'd been eating fresh eggs from my own hens living in my own backyard. I know exactly what they eat, and if truth be told, their diet is probably more nutritious than my own. Speaking of freshness, that's key here too. Store-bought eggs can be weeks old by the time they hit the shelves. Fresh backyard eggs have a pretty long shelf life, and it's even safe to leave them out on the counter, unrefrigerated for up to 3 weeks, as long as they haven't been washed. But there's nothing quite like cracking open an egg that was laid that same morning. You can really taste the difference in freshness with backyard eggs. Plus, fresh eggs have a firmer egg white as well as a yolk that stands up taller, which makes them perfect for poaching and for cooking them over easy or sunny side up. By the way, those fresh egg whites make the perfect meringue every time. Now, let's get into the nutritional nitty-gritty. Did you know that backyard chicken eggs can actually be more nutritious than store-bought ones? It's true. Backyard eggs often have higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for heart and brain health. They also tend to have more vitamin D, thanks to all that sunshine the hens get, and which they actually require in order to lay eggs in the first place. Natural sunlight isn't typically something that most commercial chickens enjoy. Their light is often artificial. Furthermore, backyard eggs can have higher levels of vitamins E and A. The reason for this goes back to the hen's varied diet, which includes plenty of greens, seeds, and even insects. Plus, there's usually less concern about antibiotics in backyard eggs since backyard chickens are less likely to need them compared to those raised in large-scale commercial operations. And here's a fun fact. Backyard chicken eggs can even have up to 50% less cholesterol and 25% less saturated fat. These results really depend on the diet and lifestyle of the hens, but generally speaking, a more natural diet can lead to healthier eggs. And let's not forget, the fresher the egg, the more nutrients it retains. This is one reason why store-bought eggs can lose some vitamins over time, especially vitamin A and antioxidants. So that this comparison is fair, we have to mention convenience and cost as well. There's no arguing that store-bought eggs win in this category, hands down. They're available almost everywhere, anytime you need them, and they're usually pretty affordable. Backyard chicken eggs, while often arguably more flavorful and nutritious, can be more costly as well when you factor in the cost of feed, coops, and time spent caring for the chickens. I discussed the economics of keeping chickens in more details in the attached video, so don't forget to check it out when you're done watching this one. Chicken keeping is a commitment for sure, but for many, the trade-off is worth it. There's something so satisfying about collecting your own eggs, knowing exactly where they came from, and seeing the happy chickens that laid them. Plus, there's the added benefit of composting chicken manure for your garden. It's a win-win if you're into that kind of sustainable living. So, what's the final verdict? Store-bought eggs are convenient and consistent, perfect for when you need them in a pinch. But backyard eggs bring a whole new level of flavor, nutrition, and satisfaction to the table. And if you've never made a cake using fresh backyard chicken eggs, you've been missing the secret ingredient of a perfect cake. Yes, keeping a few backyard chickens in order to get fresh eggs might take more time and work, but for those of us who have the time and space, they're totally worth it. It really comes down to what's important to you: convenience, or taste, nutrition, and knowing exactly where your food comes from. Either way you have them, eggs are an amazing food source, and we're lucky to have both options. Whether you're team store-bought or team backyard, we hope we've given you some food for thought, or should I say, eggs for thought. Speaking of thoughts, I would love for you to share yours about backyard chicken eggs versus store-bought eggs. Have you tried both? What has been your experience? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Finally, friends, if you want to learn more about raising chickens for eggs, subscribe to my channel to be notified about upcoming videos. I would love to have you join our growing community. Oh, and don't forget to check out the videos linked right here. Thanks so much for watching.